I might swear, been there. No, I'm just kidding, man. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Uh, Shout out to my commanders, man. We got the job done yesterday. It's been 33. You. You. What about now? You hear me? Am I good? I might be tripping, man. I might be like it just almost like a hard-headed kid. It just do what it wants to. No audio. Can y'all hear me? All right, we good? Boy, my mic is really like a hard-headed kid, man. Just do what it want to do. It turn off by itself. I never would turn it off. Why would I turn my mic off? From like the settings on my computer. But anyway, let's start the show over, man. Get all that. It's cool. Whatever. I started off the show. Start fresh with a I might swerve, been in that corner. Well, nah, just kidding, man. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Want to shout out to my Washington Commanders. It's been 33 years since the Commanders have won and made it this far. We're going to the NFC championship game against the Eagles or whoever ends up winning the game, man. So I want to take just a quick second. The vibes are high, man. They're really, really high. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. Go ahead and get a man the keys to the city. Retire his jersey. Do the contract extension. Let's go ahead and sign him to one of those MLB contracts where he's just a quarterback for the next 10, 12, 15 years, whatever we want to do, man. It's got to be. It's celebration time in DC, man. The vibes are immaculate right now. So I just want to take a second to shout out my guy Jaden Daniels, the Commanders team in general, and that Swiss cheese defense that is the Detroit Lions. We'll get into a quick recap as we always do. Let's do just that. Let's get into a quick recap. Y'all didn't come here to hear me talk about the Commanders. Last night for myself, I sent out 2 plays. It was Phoenix, Detroit up and over 110.5. Easy winner there. I think they finished with like 120 something points. And I talked about the full game over at the beginning of the show yesterday. And the reason I didn't pull the trigger on the full game over is because I did a little more digging afterwards. And Detroit's actually a top 5 defensive team in the fourth quarter. Their tempo and pace slows down a lot. So I targeted first half specifically. There was a winner. The full game was also a winner. And then Atlanta plus 10.5 was another winner. So 2 plays yesterday, both of them won. I'm not adding Austin Eckler on this list because I didn't send it to the members yesterday. But Austin Eckler, I talked about it if you watched the show, up and over on his longest reception, up and over on his receiving yards in general. Both of those was winners as well. And then the short list for yesterday was a bunch of winners. Cade Cunningham over his 25.5 points. He just shot the ball pretty poorly, but he had the volume. Like, that's something you live with. It wasn't an official play, so I didn't play it. But that was the only loser. Phoenix, Detroit, full game over 226.5 was a winner. Philly team total under 106.5 yesterday was another winner. Houston, the Rockets team total over 117.5 was another winner. And like I said, both Austin Eckler plays were winners as well. I also want to take just a quick second and shout out to my guy Dropping Dimes. Dropping Dimes put 9 plays in the he put 7 plays in the Discord yesterday. He caps women's college basketball. He put 7 plays in the Discord yesterday and went 6-1. I think he had a parlay in there as well, which he never parlays, but I think he had a parlay in there as well. Went up over almost 9.5 units yesterday. And just straight bets and one parlay. Dropping Dimes been killing it, man. My homeboy texted me like, yo, you this Dropping Dimes guy, he's pretty good. I'm like, I've been telling you, yeah, he's pretty good. So always want to give people their flowers, man. Dropping Dimes been crushing it. He crushes it. Crushes it. So shout out to my guy Dropping Dimes as well. It was a good day yesterday. Definitely a good day. Hopefully we can rinse and repeat for today. Now let's see if we can get to a couple comments. I'm not going all the way back because I know I was muted for about 5 years. My fault about that. But let's see what we got in the comment section, man. Roman says, good morning, Chris. Another great day. Betting on Unravel. Let's get to another bag this Sunday. So we can't bet Unravel in Virginia right now, which is very frustrating. I did watch Fee. Her team, I think she plays for the Lunar Owls. They did get the W yesterday. I got a chance to watch it, like the first half of that. So yeah, Unraveled I think it's gonna be good. I like it. I like it a lot. Good morning, Tasha. Good morning, GLB Best. This morning, everyone. What a day yesterday. Let's do it again today. Got 4 plays locked in. Like it. Tasha says, Clippers. We don't talk about it. Good morning, Brim. Says, let's get paid. A legendary run. 4-leg, 5-leg, 4-leg and 5-leg parlay. Cashed on the Commanders money line plus 360. It was plus 400 when we talked about it yesterday on the show. But glad you won with that, good morning, Belay. Appreciate you for tapping in. Blaze says, bro, always late. You can tell he's still new here. What up to my guy, Justin? All right, let's go down to the comments when I wasn't muted. Peasy says, top of the morning gang. Yo, Chris, is the Commanders going all the way or what? Hey, I'm just saying, man, we were supposed to lose yesterday. We were supposed to lose 2 weeks ago, last week too. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. Nothing is guaranteed for sure. But yeah, let's get to some other comments. Oh man. I'm just looking at these comments and yeah, my mic is crazy, man. My apologies for everybody that joined late for that. Appreciate my guy Brian. Let's see what we saying in the chat now. Bunch of muted comments because I'm just rambling. Magic plus 7.5 for parlay. We're gonna jump into it. We are definitely gonna jump into the games for today. Let's see. So it sounds like we're good on volume. Julio says we didn't mind listening to the beat. I'm glad you enjoyed that beat. I think this is a tough beat too. Justin says we did come to talk about them Redskins. Siakam over his assist from Earl. Let's jump into the is Dropping Dimes in the comment section? I think I saw his name. I don't think so. All right. Anyway, you probably join us a little later, maybe. Not too busy. Let's jump into what we got on the board for today. So we start with jaXon as we always do. My prompt for jaXon this morning was centered around the Heat game. I think it's the first game on the board today. Yeah, so Heat played the Spurs in Miami today. So I'm asking jaXon about the spread. And for people that are new, jaXon is an AI sports betting tool that you can utilize to handicap games, player prop, size, totals, NBA, NFL, MLB, college basketball. It just takes a lot of research off of your plate. It's a one-stop shop. You can ask questions, you can get graphs, you can get charts, and it can spit out some valuable information, save you time. It's updated like very, very quickly. So injury report's always available based on, it always has an updated injury report as well. So yeah, check jaXon out if you guys are interested. There's a 50% discount code in the description of the video if you guys are interested in checking it out. And you can cancel if you want to after you try it. But I would definitely recommend checking it out to save yourself some time to handicap these games for yourself. So let's get into it for today. For today's game between the San Antonio Spurs and the Miami Heat, here's a detailed breakdown against the spread analysis to help you decide. So we got ATS trends and insight. You got the ATS records for both teams. ATS last 6, Spurs 1-5, Miami just 2-4. As an underdog, as a favorite, recent form, all that good stuff. Spurs 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games, struggling to cover spreads recently. The Heat 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games, also showing inconsistency. Miami has historically dominated this matchup, winning 7 of the last 8 meetings versus against San Antonio. Then it's got some team performance metrics. So it's got points scored, points allowed, efficiency numbers, turnovers per game, and then pace as well. The Spurs play at a faster pace, which could lead to more scoring opportunities, but defensive lapses. The Heat have a stronger defense, ranking 7th in points allowed per game, which could help them control the game. Then you got key matchup factors. Wemby versus Bam. Wemby leads the Spurs with 24.5 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, but his efficiency has dipped in January. Adebayo is a defensive anchor for Miami, averaging 15.9 points and 9.7 rebounds per game. It could limit Wemby's impact. Excuse me. Jimmy Butler's return. Butler is back after a suspension and scored. Butler is back after a suspension and scored 18 points in Miami's last game. However, the Heat have struggled to find consistency with him in the lineup. Injuries: the Spurs will be without Jeremy Sohan, which could impact their depth. Miami is relatively healthy, but still dealing with chemistry issues. Recent form: the Spurs are coming off a 140-112 blowout loss versus Memphis, where the defense allowed a 56% shooting. The Heat have lost 3 straight, including a 133-113 loss to Denver, where they struggled defensively and shot poorly from 3, 27.3%. So then you got the picks. Well, you got sharp picks and betting insight. So sharp money is slightly favoring the Heat -3.5 with 50.7% win percentage probability compared to 49.3% for the San Antonio Spurs. The Heat are 9-6-2 against the spread as a favorite. The Spurs are 10-9 against the spread as an underdog. And then recommendation, looks like jaXon likes Miami -3.5. The Heat's strong defense and historical dominance over the Spurs make them the better ATS play. While both teams are struggling, Miami's ability to control the pace and limit scoring opportunities for San Antonio gives them the edge here. And then it tells me where I can get the best odds, which is over on ESPN Bet at -105 if I do want to play Miami -3.5 here. So again, like I said, check out jaXon, man. It's definitely worth the coin to get the analysis on some of these games and just all the different things that you can do with it. Bunch of different languages, bunch of different things to like about jaXon. So let's jump into it, man. First game up is the one we just talked about, the San Antonio Spurs and the Miami Heat. I looked through it last night. I was like, man, I can't get here with either one of these teams. But we can talk about it. So line open 2.5, what I wrote in my notes, total open 221.5 or 222, and it's come down a little bit down to 220, some 220.5s out there, and the spread has moved in favor of Miami, pushing them from a 2.5 point favorite down to a 3.5 point favorite. We talked about the injury report already, but we got Jeremy Sohan listed as out. Josh Richardson is also the only person listed on the Miami Heat side of things, so that's the only injury report. Like jaXon said, Miami has won 3 straight in the head-to-head. They've covered all 3, so San Antonio has struggled against this team, and that was, of course, with Wemby. The last 2, San Antonio are back-to-back losses to Memphis, lost 5 of their last 6 games. They failed to cover 5 of their last 6 games, and they don't play again until Thursday when they play in Indiana. On the Miami Heat side, 3 straight losses and non-covers for them as well. They're only 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. They lost by 20 to Denver at home in their first game back home after a 6-game road trip. No look-ahead spot for them. So you do got a Spurs team. I said this the other day about San Antonio. I said, if I want to back San Antonio, it's typically going to be in a lower, lower total type game. I'm not interested in I just feel like the Spurs are not a great offensive team. They're more of they're a better defensive team. So when they get into these matchups where, it's a team that plays super fast, like the Memphis Grizzlies, they haven't performed well. When I was looking into the numbers, they're 12-9 straight up and 15-6 against the spread when the total is less than 225. So they like, low, slow-paced games. Like they're not trying to get out and run against a team. I just don't think about them as having enough offense to get the job done. They are 7-2 against the spread on the road if the total is below 225. So they have performed a lot better in these games where the total is lower versus, having to play on the road where the total is high. So if you, in comparison to that, if the Spurs are playing in a game where the total is above 225, they're only 6-12 straight up, 4-14 against the spread. So they do much better in these lower total type games. So that was one of the things that kind of made me look towards San Antonio. I couldn't quite get there because I feel like I want to bet Miami. The Jimmy Butler thing just really, really throws me off a lot. I mean, you can call it saga and drama and all that. I don't know. To me, it's just a monkey wrench in wanting to play Miami. So I can't back Miami in this spot. I do think there's a way that they could win the game. I haven't talked about any of the on-court stuff. The one thing that really kept me off of San Antonio is when I was looking at them, their 3-point defense has been pretty bad recently. And that's the only thing that Miami wants to do right now. So just to put some numbers to that real quick, and then I'll get to the comments. I am looking at a player prop that I want to talk out with you guys as well in this one. And then we'll move over. We'll go through the comments and move over to the next one. But when I was looking at the game last night, Miami's offense is pretty poor recently. They're 24th in offensive rating last 5 games, 28th in offensive rebound, rebounding in general, and not getting to the free throw line. About 5th fewest free throws. Miami is shooting a ton of threes. They're actually shooting more threes than any other team in the NBA right now. They're number 1 in 3-point frequency, but they're not making them. They're shooting 35%, which is 23rd over their last 5 games. And that's really the only place that they're shooting the basketball. Corner 3, number 1, above the break 3, number 3. Here's the problem if you like San Antonio's not guarding the 3-point line recently. We know that this is a defense that, typically guards the rim pretty well. They're number 3 on the full season in rim accuracy and opponent rim accuracy. Last 5 games, the Spurs are actually bottom 5 guarding the 3-point line. Teams are shooting 41%, which says that Tyler Hero or, whoever is out there shooting those threes will probably make them today. And that lends itself to a little bit more towards Miami, in my opinion. So even though I would like to take the points with San Antonio, that kind of kept me off. So just going kind of back and forth with it. That's why I didn't play this game. Both of these teams need to win in the worst possible way. As far as player props go, what I had written in my notes was Bam under. So let's just take a quick second, go over to Outlier really quickly. So we got still some NFL stuff from yesterday. Already trying to, put that Austin Eckler bet in for next week. Just kidding. So this is Outlier. There is a link in the description of the video that you can use to sign up, get a 7-day free trial if you're interested in using Outlier to handicap player props. So Bam Adebayo, right? So Bam, type his name in. Looking at his points to go under in this game. So you can see here, Bam's been pretty inconsistent. He's listed at about 15.5. The numbers continue to come down, especially with Jimmy being back. So only up and over 5 of his 10 games. You can look at some head-to-head stuff. He has had a pretty good match. Like, he's done really, really well against the San Antonio Spurs both times that they played last year. Both of these games are from last year. But if you filter this if we go just this full season, and then we look at players on the floor, games played with, so he's cashing 51%. You can see that right here. So about half his games. If you filter this to games with player, and we add Jimmy Butler, you can see that the number actually goes up just a tad bit to about 52.5. Here's the reason why, in my opinion, I like the under. And it's not necessarily predicated. I don't use Outlier to make all my plays. I'm more so looking at the matchup like I was just talking about. The Miami Heat are not shooting at the rim at all. Bam either, mid-range or a rim, one of the guys that want to score at the rim. So last 5 games, Miami is second. They're shooting the second fewest attempts at the rim. They're 29th in rim accuracy. Paint and rim frequency. So they're not getting to the rim at all. I just told you guys they're shooting a bunch of threes. Number 1 and above the break 3, number 3 and above the break 3, number 1 in overall threes, and they're shooting a lot of corner threes. And I kind of feel like the Miami Heat are going to continue to shoot threes because that's what San Antonio does. They don't allow you to shoot a bunch of shots in the paint or even from the mid-range. Their mid-range defense is really good as well. So I think all of this contributes to, and then you throw in that Jimmy Butler's back, trying to probably be in a little bit more rhythm in this game. So I'm leaning Bam under his 15.5 points in this game. I also agree with the total coming down. I think this will be a slow, methodical type game. When I looked at these two teams yesterday, I didn't write this down and put it in my notes, but when I looked at Miami and San Antonio yesterday, it was a bunch of slow pace here. Miami is 20th in pace last 5 games. At home, they're 27th in pace. And then San Antonio plays a lot slower on the road than they do at home. San Antonio is 10th in pace over the last 5 games. I think a lot of that has to do with them playing Memphis back-to-back. So they, got sped up in those games. I'm expecting their defense to play a little bit better. And if they can keep Miami off the 3-point line, I think this game goes under. And I like Bam under his points prop as well. Let's see what you guys are thinking. I talked for a little too long on that one, but really just trying to make sure you guys understand my thought process on it. So let's get back to see what you guys are thinking here. Commanders is good. Killian says, I thought Cleveland -6 was toast when Mobley was out. Had me hot. Miami looks disconnected, disinterested, but it's their spot, Brian says. Tasha says, I want to take Miami, but Butler may not play his best. Team drama. I kind of feel like that too, man. I feel like that. What's up, Christopher? He says, good morning, Chris. How about them Redskins Commanders? Yeah, I put the the skins on, but then I put the Commanders on too. You got to have a little bit of both. A little bit of both, man. Miami spot, BJ says. It does feel like a Miami spot, man. Jimmy Best says, man, I wish I might move on Miami. Kind of feels like a Miami spot. Julio says he likes Miami too. I want to take the Spurs, but iffy. The Spurs feel one of these teams gonna get right. Both of them been playing like trash. Merrill says Hero, he scores 24 points today. Cannot talk you off. He also likes Castle to get 15. Brian says he likes over. I'm with you, Mark. He says leaning under. Merrill says under. The total already dropped 2 points, but you still can get some 220.5s out there. Looks like that's consensus, so it may even be a 221 out there floating around in the market somewhere. I'm kind of leaning under, man. I think this is, like I said, I just want the Spurs to play a little bit of defense at the 3-point line. And the pace, I do think it's going to be played pretty slow. This feels like a 109 to 106 type game. I don't even know who wins, but that's what it feels like to me. And I can't ignore San Antonio being so good. I can't ignore San Antonio being a lot better as a team, with a low total. Castle under 1.5 threes, cash 14 of the last 15, PG says. Okay. You like to see that hit rate. Taylor says Spurs team total under 109.5. Any thoughts versus top half defensive ranked teams when on the road? They're under in 6 of their 8 games, averaging 103. This feels like the bounce back spot, man. Spoelstra was talking about it. I was reading what Spoelstra said about this game. He said the defense was unacceptable. So you expect them to play a little bit better. Under 220.5, I think, would be the top play here. You like Wemby over his threes? Colin says, I didn't look too deeply into Wemby at all, but he gonna shoot 20 of them, so I couldn't talk you off. Drop it down says, appreciate the flowers, brother. It should have been 7-0, but we got hooked. I hate losing, and I'm right there with you. Sounds like one of my quotes. I hate losing. But yeah, shout out to my guy dropping dimes, man. Let's see what else y'all saying about this one. Hero good for 2 threes, maybe some parlay stuff. I like Tyler Hero over his assist, Tasha says. Jacob says prop madness locked in is over. Spurs allowed the 7th most points in the paint. What's up, More Like Sway? Appreciate you for tapping in. Matt all the above says good morning on the football victory last night. Salute on the football victory. What's up, Cuppa Joe? Says I appreciate you, brother, but this game gives me trust issues. Props and all. Yeah, I would agree with that, man. I would agree with that for sure. Let's see. What else y'all seeing? Spurs money line. Easy T Funny says. Okay. I hope you cash it. I didn't bet the side. I do lean under and bam under on this points prop. It would be my thought processes here. Next game up, we go over to right up not up the street, but close by. Orlando getting 7 points at the crib against the visiting Denver Nuggets. This line open, it's up to 7.5 now. So money's still coming in on Denver. I didn't think it was going to get this far. This opened at 4 yesterday. Total open 221. It's actually going up to 221.5 now. So yeah, a lot of money coming in on Denver in this spot. And I kind of think about Denver as a team that, in totality of the full season, this is not a team that I really trust on the road. Especially laying this big of a number. I'm pretty sure this is the biggest number that the Denver Nuggets have laid all season on the road. Let's see real quick. Let's just double check that real quick. So, it's not the biggest number. They've laid numbers this big before. They've laid 7.5 against the Jazz, the Pelicans, the Trailblazers, the Raptors, the Jazz, and the Wizards. And they're 4-2 to the over in those games. They're also just 2-4 against the spread when they're laying 7.5 points or more as well. So recent form, though, I mean, this should be easy. This should be a layup here. I didn't bet the game. And at this point, I'm trying to find ways to take Orlando just because the line has gotten a tad bit too big here. Like I said, I'm not super big on Denver laying a bunch of points on the road. They're 9-5 straight up on the road as a favorite, 6-8 against the spread. I will say recently they've done a lot better. They finally starting to get their stuff together. They were really, really poor on the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They started the season off 1-8 against the spread on the road. Since then, they've won 5 straight games on the road. They've covered 5 straight games on the road. Wins against the Jazz, the Spurs, the Mavs, and the Heat in their most recent game on Friday. So, I mean, looking at the injury report, I think that's why Orlando has taken a slight step back. There's no Gogo Batadze, there's no Gary Harris, Jalen Suggs is out, Franz Wagner is out. And then you got Jet Howard. He doesn't move the needle for me, but he is listed as game time decision. On the Denver side, Jokic, played with the elbow injury. He still had a triple-double. Aaron Gordon is back in Orlando, where he was a franchise type player for them. He is listed as probable for them as well. And I honestly, I don't really want to fade Denver right now. Denver is looking really good. I didn't write any of this down, but if I go to my spreadsheets and just look very, very quickly, I think it's too big of a number for me to lay. I can see a potential backdoor cover here. Orlando's going to get it together sooner or later, I would think. But I mean, they're just depleted right now. Like at the end of the day, they just feel like they are very, very depleted. They've been playing a strong schedule. It doesn't get any easier against Denver. So real quick, Denver 7-3 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. This is a 4th game in 6 nights for them. In Orlando, they've lost 4 of their last 5, 2 back-to-back blowout losses to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. So Denver last 5 games, they are 8th in offensive efficiency, 4th in defensive efficiency. So they're actually starting to play a little bit of defense, winning by about 9 points per game. They are 18th in pace, and they played a strong schedule as well. 4th in strength of schedule last 5 games. On the Orlando side, they're struggling to score. They are last in points scored per 100 points per game, averaging just 97. They're giving it up. Well, not giving it up. They're only giving up 111. Offensive efficiency, though, worse than the NBA. Defensive efficiency, which we know them to be a great defensive team on the full season, they're still the 2nd best defense over the last 5 games. They're 18th, though. So that's the reason why I think the money's come in, because, like I said, they just kind of depleted. They do play at a really slow pace, 26th in pace over the last 5 games, 28th in pace, 29th in pace over the full season. I'm expecting they also had to play against the 6th strongest schedule over the last 5 games. Like I said, it doesn't get any easier here. If I'm playing this game, I know it's really difficult to get to under right now because Orlando's defense has struggled. That's what makes the most sense to me. I know Denver, like I said, Denver will probably try to run. They're probably going to try to get out, not have to play against Orlando's set defense. But there's some strong trends I looked at toward the under in this game. The biggest one being Orlando at the crib as a home dog is 6-1 to the under this season. The games are staying under by about 13.5 points. I think there's 2 ways that this game could go under. First off, Denver could have a subpar shooting night, which they've been scoring the ball very efficiently. And we're going to talk about a player prop in just a second. And you got, like I said, Orlando. Orlando could be a part of that total as well. They're actually not scoring the ball. Like I said, worst offense over the last 5 games, averaging just 97 points per game. So if this game is played slow, which, like I said, Orlando last 5, 26, at home this season at 28th in pace, and Denver is still not playing super fast, 18th in pace, this could be a little bit of an under game. The total, 221, 221.5. I do see a 222 popping up. I think that's the way I would want to play this one. Would be a look towards the under. Real quick, let's see, last 5 games, Miami, Orlando. Denver is 5th in offensive efficiency. They are 22nd in protecting the ball, though. That's not good because Orlando will take it away from you. Denver is 2nd in offensive rebounds. Orlando doesn't give up a ton of offensive rebounds. They're actually 3rd fewest over the last 5 games. So that could limit Denver's offense. Denver is attacking the paint a lot, 2nd in rim frequency, 15th in accuracy, though. And that's really their best shot. In long mid-range, they're 8th in long mid-range shots. Orlando's defense has really, really struggled pretty much all the way across the board, though. Denver is 6th best offense in the half court. Orlando 23rd in half court defense. Denver is pushing pace, 6th in frequency, transition frequency, 10th in efficiency in transition, and Orlando is 12th. So they're doing a pretty good job of getting back as well. I think under. I do think under. Outside of Paolo, I can't trust anybody to consistently score on the Orlando Magic side of things. It is really, really depleted right now. Player prop wise, let's go back to Outlier just really quickly. We'll get into comments. Looking at the guy that is smoking hot right now, I think you can continue to ride the hot hand of Jamal Murray. Looking at his points prop today, the number is 19.5. So let's see. Is it correlated to his threes? Oh, could be his threes too. Kind of getting hot right now. So Jamal Murray points prop 19.5 minus 105. You do see Orlando's second-rated defense. I talked about the slow pace, but this is more so about what we've seen recently, right? These last 3 games here. So we just look at last 5. You can see that he's up and over. This is the game that happened earlier this week against the Dallas Mavericks, where Shaq called him out on TNT. He said he didn't even see it, but he went crazy in that game. So 45 points against the Dallas Mavericks. He had 22 points against the Houston Rockets, and he followed that up in Miami just one night ago with 30 points as well. He's averaging 32.3 points over his last 3 games, which bumps the season average to right above this 19.5, bumps him to 20.1. Could be riding a hot streak, and that'd be great, but it's also matchup based as well. Murray, he scores more than 1/4 of his points as the pick and roll ball handler. You got a nugget in the Magic actually allow the 7th most points to pick and roll ball handlers. He also scores about 14% of his points from the free throw line, and the Orlando Magic are fouling at a really high rate as well. They actually bottom 10 in sending teams to their opponents to the free throw line. If you look at the matchups, there's some guards like Dame, like Terry Rozier, like Jalen Brunson, who've all cleared their points prop twice against this Orlando Magic team. And then you got, guys, I didn't even mention Jalen Brunson, who's also, I did mention Jalen Brunson, but Tyrese Maxey, another guy that, they struggle. They just struggle against guards. And with no Jalen Suggs out there, I think Jamal Murray keeps it going today. He's actually my favorite player prop. I just haven't locked it in yet. So I like Jamal Murray a lot. The other thing is I always like to look at shot attempts per point. So his points prop is listed at 19.5. You can see that right here. Look at the last 3 games. Just look at his field goal attempts. So, you can see he's shooting the ball really well. 69%, 57%, and 50%. So field goal percentage is up. But look at the attempts though: 26, 14, and 24. If you're gonna give me, a point per attempt, if he can keep it going, you love to see this right here. So Jamal Murray to get to 20 today seems very, very feasible, especially when you compare this to, just his last 10 games. Look at this. Shot attempts are way up over here versus over here, just about 14 to 17. So I like Jamal Murray points prop today. I think it's a really, really good look. Have not locked it in yet. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Nuggets are on fire. Bam Magic is all messed up. Nuggets -4 for T Money. He got to the number early. Orlando is solid against the spread at the crib, Joel says. I agree with that. Denver is much better if Aaron Gordon plays. Denver -7, but wouldn't it be like the Magic at home to cover? Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna get it together eventually. I just can't get to the Magic right now with the injury report, man. This team is very, very depleted. GLB Best says he likes over 221.5. Okay. Justin says he likes over as well. So some disagreement with me. Probably going to live bet the Nuggets. Don't want to lay 7, and I'm right there with you. King says he's on Orlando. Denver has lost the last 6 in Orlando. Okay. That's something to kind of get behind them, even though they are depleted right now. Eric says he's taking the money line. Give him the money line. Jacob got early, got the -4, also played it at 4.5. Let's see. What else y'all saying in the comments? Ventura take the over. Cubba Joe says Miami, Denver, money line parlay, giving out +118. So much trust issues here, but they should be the better teams. It's Sunday. Don't forget it's Sunday, man. Blake says Denver always plays down to the Magic style, though, in the game in Orlando. Yeah, when I was looking at it last night, real quick, just to put some numbers behind it, Orlando's actually beaten Denver. Now, granted, you got to take the injuries into consideration for Orlando, but they've actually beaten Denver 3 straight times. They've covered 6 straight spreads. I put this in my notes last night. 6 straight spreads is a lot. My fault. 7 straight spreads, and 8 of the last 9 have the Orlando Magic covered against the Denver Nuggets. So this is very, very accurate from Flint. Let's see. Miami won't win either double revenge spot for Spurs and Wemby playing tonight. Going to change things. Okay. Tasha says Denver team total over 114.5 since they average 117. Okay. Magic gonna win. Think they're gonna win outright. So a couple people like the Magic to win outright. I don't know if I like that, but user says he likes Jokic assist today. Waiting on the crazy injury report today. And that's why I have not put a bet in. On Friday, the bets that I placed early were winners if the market didn't change. And then the 2 bets that I lost on was OKC minus the 6 and the Lakers and Nets game to go over. And SGA gets ruled out and AD gets ruled out on both the plays that I put in early. So yesterday I waited and it was profitable for me. So I'm waiting today too, Jacob. Chai says Jokic over his 8.5 assists, but it's juice now. And then Theo says Orlando hasn't had a good game, hasn't had a game go over 221 since December the 21st. And I'm right there with you. Definitely right there with you, Theo. I'm not looking towards over in this game, even though a couple guys that I do respect are on the over or like the over. Next one we got up, 76ers and the Bucks. Game we played in Milwaukee. This line opened 9.5 yesterday, up to 12.5 now. Total 223 is up from 220.5 yesterday. And I kind of agree with both. The reason why I didn't bet this game last night was I thought there was a possibility for the Philadelphia 76ers guys to come back. And there still is. Yesterday, we talked about the injury report, how they were, how I liked the Pacers yesterday. The 76ers just a complete fade right now. They did come out with something early in the game yesterday. I think they may have covered the first quarter against the Pacers. They had some spurts throughout the game, but not a team I'm looking to back, man. This is not a team I'm looking to back right now, and the Bucks are absolutely a team to back right now. So I agree with the movement coming in. The reason why I didn't get there, like I said, I thought PG could potentially come back. Yabusele didn't play yesterday. Thought he could potentially come back. Kyle Lowry, maybe he comes back. Like, you got to wait on the injury report for the Philadelphia 76ers. And 9.5 is already a big number. But the Bucks probably do win this game by 10. Do they win by 13? I'm not sure. They are playing really good basketball. They have who do they have on the injury report? AJ Green listed as questionable and Andre Jackson Jr. both listed as questionable. Milwaukee has won 5 straight. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games in the head-to-head matchup. Philly, second leg of a back-to-back, 4th and 6th nights. 5 straight losses, 7 straight non-covers for them now. So it makes sense. This is a 4th game in 6 nights for the Bucks. They've primarily been at the crib, though. 7-3 straight up in their last 10 games. 3 straight blowout wins against Sacramento, Orlando, and Toronto. Their last 4 games. This is the last of a 4-game homestand for them. The offense is humming right now. They've scored 130, 122, and 130 in their last 3 games. They played 5 straight overs, and 7 of their last 10 games have actually gone over, which is probably why this total is going up. And I agree with that as well. I do think it's a little bit of an over game. I do think it's a little bit of an over game just because the total's so low. But if Paul George is ruled out, I think we could potentially go back to the Philly team total under in this spot. The Bucks, this is a game where I kind of expect Maxey to run out of gas. And outside of Maxey, I'm not sure who's going to consistently score the basketball. I was watching the interview yesterday with Dame. He said he talked to Vin Baker, somebody he has a lot of respect for. And Vin Baker told him a couple weeks ago, he got to start playing basketball to win and not being so passive, pretty much, in so many words. And he said he really took that, he took that, to heart. And he's been going crazy. Him, Giannis, Torian Prince, they're not, they're rested at the crib, healthy. Chris Middleton's going to play in this game. I'm not looking towards Philly, not catching the falling knife with Philly at all. It would be only Milwaukee, but 12.5 is a lot of points to lay. So hopefully Paul George comes back, gets ruled in, and then I think you probably could move. Hopefully this comes back down. You can move towards the Milwaukee Bucks, in my opinion. I also think the Bucks team total is interesting. With it being the second leg of a back-to-back and 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th for the Philadelphia 76ers, I do think that they run out of gas defensively. So a look towards their team total to go up and over. I think I do have that on the short list for this game, but have not played it yet. Those are my thoughts. Didn't look at the player props at all. Let's see. Team total. I just want to get you guys an update. I think it's 117.5 was the team total. And I just want to double check. While I double check, I'll go through a couple comments real quick. What up, Prolific? My gosh, since I'm up early today. So that team total for the Bucks is, it's still 114.5 right now. It's a little juiced at minus 114. It was minus 105, I think, this morning. I didn't bet it though. Let's see what else y'all saying. MPJ to get 2 threes, PZ says. What up, Tariq? Says, are you going to touch on NFL? Hell to the Redskins, baby. Yeah, we'll touch on NFL at the end of the show today, Tariq. I got a play that I do like, and I did play already as well. So we'll touch on that. Brian says he likes the Bucks minus the 11 here, first half as well. Truthfully, I haven't bet them the last 3 games. Might do it today, though, and I could see it, man. They've been getting money. Let's see. User says Murray went over his points 6 of his last 7 games since 2018. Probably talking about head-to-head matchup. That makes sense. Like to see that. Bucks later points. Philly is a fade, Andrew says. My thoughts exactly. Flint says I like the Bucks too. Maybe alternate spread down a little, but I do like the Bucks. I agree with that. And I will say this real quick to this comment from Flint. If you guys been watching the show for, just over the course of time, especially with how crazy the NBA is these days. But in totality, I don't really like laying a lot of points. Like when lines get to about 9.5, 10, I typically, kind of stay off. I think about this the other day. I know GLB Bets and Justin was talking about this in the chat on the show on Friday. It was like 13.5 that Boston was laying. They were coming off that loss to get to Toronto Raptors. And I was like, man, it's a lot of points. The books are setting these lines that high for a reason. Like they want you to be uncomfortable laying that many points. They're not giving you a discount. So that's just a, quick word of advice. Same thing last night. I'm watching the Rockets game last night. I'm looking into these games, celebrating the Commanders win last night. And I'm watching the Rockets game last night against the Rockets were playing against the Blazers last night. And that line was like 11.5. And remember, if you go back and watch the show yesterday, this is a quick nugget for you guys. You go back and watch the show yesterday, I said, man, 11.5 is a lot of points to lay with the Houston Rockets. They're not that good of a road team. The books knew. The books already knew that Denny Avdia probably wasn't going to play. Remember, I said earlier the teams played in Houston. They played in Houston. The line was 10.5, 11.5 in those games. The Rockets were at home. So when you go on the road and you're laying the same number of points, the line should get shorter. When you're laying the same number of points, it typically means it's a spot where you're going to win the game by 20. And, sometimes you can't be afraid to lay the big numbers. I'm really talking to myself, but I'm just giving you guys the game that I'm thinking about last night. Like, that was clearly a Rocket spot yesterday. So just kind of that this comment made me think about that. So shout out to my guy Flint for making me think about that. Drummond equals softest drop coverage of all time, Jacob says. He likes Dame over his 23.5 points. Maxey under 6.5 assists. Paul George over 30 points, rebounds, and assists. All great without Embiid and McCain in there. Okay. I hope you cash him, Jacob. Appreciate you for dropping them here. What up to my guy Sai? Says, yo, Commanders came through. They should revisit moving the team to Virginia now. They should. Move them to Richmond, man. Somewhere a little bit closer. So I got to drive 2.5 hours to get to a game, man. That's a fact, Sai. Ayo says, Dame Tom, 25 points. Giannis double-double. They trying to catch the Knicks while they were in the slump. Yeah, they definitely do to come up. The Bucks are still only 6 games above 500 right now. So yeah, I do agree with this. They're definitely trying to get there, and they're putting it together right now. Like I said, 3 straight blowout wins. Like it. Milwaukee now might be playing with extra motivation with the passing of the legendary Mr. Baseball. Oh, I saw that, Christopher. I did see this. I'm like, what? I did see this. Okay. I wonder how much that's motivated them. What up, LJ? Says, yo, Chris, sorry, late. I just woke up from celebrating Washington +8. I'm taking Daniels to get to the bowl. Hey, take command, man. Take command. I should just keep this right here above my lip. Like this. Do the show, rest of the show. I got to tape this to my forehead. Maybe I can put it up here. Nah, you know what? Let's just get back to the show, man. Kelly Oubre over his 13.5 points. Bobby Portis over his 11.5. More like Sway says there are two teams trending in the opposite direction. I agree with all that. Maxey under 28.5. I do think it's a game you can fade Maxey, especially if AJ Green and Andre Jackson plays. Maxey can eventually gonna run out of gas, man. And that's why I like the Philly team total to go under again today as well. This is a really, really difficult matchup for him. What up, Burns? My guy. Appreciate you for tapping in. Justin says I'm gonna move on Magic plus 7.5. That's the only way I'm looking. Only way I'm looking, Justin. Agree with that. Let's see. GLB Best says I laid it with OKC and San Antonio. Gross and uncomfortable for sure. Sometimes it's like that. It's like that, GLB Best. It's definitely like that, bro. Justin says stay focused, Chris. But nah, playing. I gotta stay focused, man. I do gotta stay focused. PZ also likes Dame up and over his 25.5 points and assists. Has hit 11 out of the last 12 games at the crib. All right, let's go over to the next games. I couldn't talk anybody off a little Dame love tonight either. All right, next game we got up, Nets and Thunder. Let me just make sure the line hasn't moved. It's still, a hefty two touchdowns and a field goal is what you land with the Brooklyn Nets, which is what you land with OKC here. Total is moving up, open 213 up to 216.5. Definitely agree with that movement. Real quick injury report. I didn't get to this one as far as the Brooklyn side of things. I did see the Cam Johnson was listed as questionable. It looks like, just him. So they should have D'Lo. Ben Simmons should play. We'll see if Cam Johnson plays. He did not play the other day against the Lakers. I kind of want him in for the total just because he is a elite 3-point shooter, somebody that can stretch the floor and definitely contributes to the offensive end of the game or the floor. And then on the OKC side, of course, they're clearly still without Isaiah Hartenstein. No Chet, of course. AJ Mitchell's out for probably like next 5 or 6 weeks. And then SGA is also still on the injury report after, he kind of sunned us the other day, man. I'm a little bit salty if I'm not lying. Had that -6 and, SGA never rests. He never. So why rest the day I take you? But neither here nor there. It's still been profitable over the NBA for the week and over the last few days. So SGA is listed as questionable. I'm guessing he comes back. I don't know, man. I don't know. I will say Brooklyn. I was looking at it last night. Brooklyn did, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen tonight, but they did upset OKC last season. I think they were getting like 5 points or something like that. They beat the brakes off OKC last season. So maybe it's a matchup thing. I don't know. Coach Fernandez was not the coach then. This is 4th game in 6 nights for both teams. Terrible spot for Brooklyn being that it's the last of a 6-game road trip, all on the East Coast. Now they're in the Midwest. They're only 2-8 straight up in their last 10 games. They did cover against the Lakers as 9.5-point dogs the other day when Anthony Davis got rolled out. OKC, like I said, 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 6 nights as well. They did lose to Dallas as a 3-point favorite without SGA. No look ahead spot for them here. So we cashed with Brooklyn first quarter the other day. You probably can get a nice little number with Brooklyn in the first quarter today against the Lakers. That was the Lakers, though. This is not the Lakers. But OKC is very, very symbolic of the Golden State Warriors from a couple years ago when they were making their championship runs, where they're a really good third quarter team. They make the necessary adjustment. They are the best third quarter defense. They're the best ATS team in the third quarter, I want to say. And they have the best point differential in the third quarter. So if Brooklyn jumps out early, there's maybe a spot where you can get OKC, second half. I'm not laying 17 points with OKC, but could they win the game by 20? Absolutely. Will they, still be kind of, if SGA doesn't play, is it too many points then? I think so. But we'll see if he plays or not. First quarter number right now is plus 6.5. That's absolutely insane to lay 7 points in the first quarter. You can get OKC -5.5 on DraftKings, or you can get Brooklyn plus 6.5 on Bet365. For them to kind of hang in for a quarter, maybe. That's just a lot of points to go up by in the first quarter, man. I think I would be looking towards Brooklyn early, plus 6.5 before, it probably turns into an old-fashioned beatdown. At least that's just kind of the way I'm thinking about it. Brooklyn's been not been as good in the second half of games, so I guess that's something I'll look a little bit deeper into. Is Brooklyn first quarter? plus 6.5 over on ESP on Bet365. And again, shout out to Odds Jam as always for giving me the best odds, the quickest. Don't want 5.5 when I can get 6.5. Let's see what you guys think about this one. That's first quarter cash cow, Jacob says. Couldn't talk you off going back. 77 figures says Bucks don't care about this game, especially covering. Back with no Embiid, Zest or Zip in this matchup anymore. Yeah, but I think there's something to 77 figures, them wanting to play basketball the right way and just kind of continuing to play with energy and effort. I said the same thing, right? After the Bucks beat, who did they beat the other day? Sacramento. And I was like, man, then they got Orlando. They've already beaten Orlando twice. They probably won't care about that game as much. But they smoked Orlando. Then I said the same thing about Toronto game as well. I said Toronto, they didn't already beat Toronto twice this season. They won both games by double digits. I remember having it in my notes. They smoked Toronto as well. So they're just playing the game the right way no matter who's in front of them right now, 77 figures. So I can understand what you're saying, and this is my thought process as well, but they've been playing really good recently. Eric Gordon over his 1.5 threes. We don't use, I know you're new to the show, Flint. We don't use that lock word or emoji. We don't use that because ain't nothing to lock ever in life. Nothing is a lock except you're going to pay your taxes and death is a lock. But we don't use locks around here. But I hope you cash it. Hope you get there with Eric Gordon. I can see him having to spread the floor a little bit, knock down some threes. If you're going to score against the Bucks, it is typically from the three-point line and not from the paint. They're really good at rim protection. What up, TC Best says, good morning, Chris. And chat, all Commanders talk got me hurting, but good win, though. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you as well. What up, Frankie? Appreciate you for tapping in. Since they did cover the first half yesterday, but Milwaukee on a Sunday, and these guys, I might have to take them. Okay. GLB Best says full game over. Laid it with Sacramento. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. What else? Later with OKC is what GLB Best says. So thinks they smoke them in this spot. I can see it. Vaughn says if SGA is in, I'm taking first half and full game. Mark says, you think SGA's wrist sprain healed up in 2 days? I don't think it was that. I mean, unless he sprained it after the game. Like I saw him do the post-game interview and all. So I don't know, man. That one hurt. SGA, I kind of feel like the OKC Thunder don't owe me anything, but I hate losing bets like that, man. OKC's won me a ton of money this year, but hate losing like that. What up, Ray says, good morning, Chris. Let's have a day. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Snowman says Nets first quarter, last 5, averaging 29.4 points. Yeah, we talked about this the other day, right? The reason why I like them against the Lakers is not only because the Lakers are not that good at basketball, but because the Nets are really good in the first quarter. They are they 10-0 now or still 9-1? 9-1 against the spread in the first quarter. The Nets last 10 games, 9-1 against the spread in the first quarter. On the road, last 10 games, 9-1 in the first quarter. So they've been the best road team in the first quarter, the best overall team in the first quarter. OKC last 10 home games, only 4-6 against the numbers. So like I said, they come out slow. They do come out slow at times. Let's see. Brian says never 6.5 in the first quarter. Mark says I might live bet this one. 77 figures says 17 is a gift. Net spot spooky Sundays. Okay, I like the contrarianism. Not something I'm gonna be on, but I like the contrarianism. OKC on 2NH minus 7.5. I think it's supposed to be second half, maybe, Tasha. What is that? Clint says, how do you sign up for the Discord and picks? So it's two different things, Clint. All my plays can be accessed when I make them through using the link in the description. You just, when you sign up, use the ChrisBeCappinn Community tier. It's like $5.99 a month. Not $599, $5.99 a month. That'll get you access to all my plays. They're sent directly to your email whenever I make them. To join the Discord is completely free. Like I just do it because it's good vibes in the Discord. And it's a lot of people that rock with me and that I rock with. And we just all in there trying to cash together. So just shoot me an email for the Discord link at ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's, and I'll shoot you the Discord link. But the plays are $5.99 a month for my plays. But you can tell whatever you want in the Discord. And sometimes I drop plays in the Discord as well. Tariq says they thought the Lions were a lock. Nothing is a lock, and that's a fact. Snowman, same thing. Get access to the Discord. Just shoot me an email, or you can hit me on X or Twitter at ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's. What else y'all seeing? Hit the over 216 last night, Mark says. I see it. DJ Props says Commanders versus Bills in the Super Bowl would be electric. Let's not look too far ahead, DJ Props. We still got it. We got one more game we gotta take before we get there, man. But yeah. Tasha says not happening because the Bills lose today. We're gonna talk about NFL in a few minutes, man. Let's get over to I think we got like 3 more games left. So Bulls and Blazers, man. If you Cal says Chris is on a Bulls-free diet, and that's exactly what I'm on. I'm not looking towards the Bulls in any capacity ever in life. But I'll handicap the game pretty quickly, give you guys what I had in my notes, and we'll keep it moving. This line did move. This opened at 3.5 in favor of the Chicago Bulls. They are now laying 6. Gross stuff. 6.5. People are putting their hard-earned money on the Bulls in this spot. Maybe it's a fate of the Blazers, but let's get to it. So total was at 232.5. Is up to 236 now. 236.5. So some money coming in on the over, some money coming in on the Bulls. You got Tyler Horton-Tucker for the Chicago Bulls listed as questionable. Lonzo also listed as questionable. Zach LaVine is listed as probable. No Torrey Craig, of course. Javon Carter is also listed as game time decision. On the Portland side of things, they did play last night, so they can submit their injury report late. Klinger did not play last night. Aiden is listed as who knows where he's going to be listed at. He didn't play last night. He was ruled out. And Denny Avdia also was ruled out last night. And the Blazers they're really, really bad right now, especially without those guys. Because the one thing that the Blazers do well is offensive rebound the basketball. To get second chance shots and, all that good stuff. They're not a great offense. They struggle to shoot the ball from the 3-point line. The Bulls are not a great defense. Man, best of luck if you're betting this game, man. The Bulls, this is 4th game in 6 nights. First game on the West Coast. They've lost 3 straight non-covers for them. First leg of a back-to-back. They probably get the doors blew off of them tomorrow against the Clippers, even though the Clippers will be on the second leg of a back-to-back as well. Portland, second leg of back-to-back we just talked about. 4 straight losses for them, 3 straight non-covers. So you got 2 teams that have been absolutely trash over the last few games. And this is the last of a 4-game homestand for Portland. They go out east to, I can't remember where, but I looked at it. They got a game on the East Coast. It might be like Orlando or something coming up in the near future for them. So just real quick, let me just match the 2 teams up real quick and see if I can pick the lesser of the 2 evils here. But not a game that I'm interested in betting. Honestly, maybe a over-under type game, honestly. Let's see real quick. So my spreadsheets tell me that the Bulls are 19th in offensive efficiency. So they had been having some games go under until LaMelo and Lonzo played each other. Then they did go over in that last game, and they lost that game by 1. They are 16th in offensive efficiency, 12th in defensive efficiency last 5 games. Number 1 in pace. They play super fast. On the road this season, they're number 2 in pace. And they played against the easiest schedule over the last 5 games. Been getting smoked against the easiest schedule. On the Portland side of things, you can't get too much worse the last 5 games. They are the second worst offense. I'm sorry. They're scoring the second fewest points, 103. They're giving up the second most points. So they're turned into the Wizards. They're giving up the second most points, 122. 29th in offensive efficiency, 28th in defensive efficiency. They're negative 19.3 in efficiency differential, which is the second worst as well. 14th in pace, and they played the 10th easiest schedule. So, yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I'm not looking towards this game at all, but I wish you guys the best if you if you are playing this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. We will keep it moving. Chicago on the do not betting list. So these shoes behind me, you guys can see these shoes. That's where the Bulls at. They right there on the shelf. I never touch these shoes. I never wear Jordans anymore. Most of the time I don't wear Jordans anymore, and the ones I do wear are not on the shelf. The Bulls are like they're like a anything that you put on the shelf that you don't move anymore. They're like a piece of decor. I don't bet Bulls games, and I'm doing pretty good since I stayed away from them. Burns says Portland is beyond trash. Even when it's a good look for them, they still don't cover. Yeah, it's bad, man. It is bad. Like Scoot user says, somebody gonna have to score points. Brim says 1-800-GAMBLER game. Backwood, Portland first half here for Bryant. Vernon says this should be a Portland spot, but they are horrible. Played the Bulls, 2.5 for Dirty Rig. Best of luck, man. You will be in my thoughts and prayers today with that ticket alive. What else y'all saying about this one? Nothing. All right, cool with me. Let's go to the next one. We got Lakers and Clippers. Line was at 4. It's still at 4. Opened at I wrote 5.5 in my notes yesterday, but that was before the injury report came out. The total was sitting at 217.5. It's down to 215 now, and the spread has moved all the way down to 2.5, and now the money's come back up to 4. So open 5.5 for the Clippers, came down to 2.5. Now it's back up to 4. Is the way that I kind of tracked it yesterday. When the news started becoming available. So on the Lakers side of things, LeBron is listed as probable. Anthony Davis, ambulance driver, is listed as questionable in this game. He did get ruled out. It was a foot injury against Brooklyn a couple nights ago. And then on the Clippers side of things, they got 3 starters listed as questionable: James Harden, Norman Powell, and Zubac. I was ready to move. Clippers was top player of the day, in my opinion. I was gonna move on Clippers last night, and then I saw the injury report. It's like, whoop, let me pump the brakes real quick. So you got, outside of Norman Powell, Harden, and Zubac all listed as questionable. Chris Dunn is also listed as questionable. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. Now, I'm not looking towards the Lakers. I actually haven't even been betting Laker games. It's been Laker-free diet is good for my mental health as well. This is the first meeting of the season between the two teams. Lakers have won and covered 3 of the last 4 that happened last season. Lakers do have back-to-back wins against the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets. They're still just 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 games, though. And it's the first road game. I guess you can call it a road game. First time they'll be in a dome ever, and first road game after 4 straight home games for them. For the Clippers, 2 days rest, 3 straight wins, all by double digits, all covers as well, and 3 straight unders. Their defense has been really, really good. They do have the Chicago Bulls coming into town tomorrow, like I said. So just thinking about how good the Clippers are at the crib. We talk about it all the time. I'm going to give you guys some numbers real quick, but I just kind of want to match the teams up on the floor. We don't know, who's going to be available. If the Clippers have everybody, I do think that they win and cover the spread in this one. It's really just a fade of the Lakers in their offense. It's just really, really poor. Every time the Lakers make a move, the offense gets worse. Get rid of D-Lo, the offense gets worse. Max Christie is really, really good. I like Max Christie a lot, but his offense is not great. Dalton Connect feels like he's kind of going through something. And the Clippers have just been locked down defensively. So real quick, let me see if the numbers kind of match with what I'm saying. Let's see. Lakers, Clippers. All right, so Lakers, Clippers. All right, so real quick, if I'm looking at the Lakers offense, they are last 5 games, they're 16th in offensive efficiency, 8th in effective field goal percentage, so don't look that bad. 5th in turnover rate, so they're doing a pretty good job protecting the basketball, not getting any offensive rebounds, not getting to the free throw line at all, which is interesting because on the full season, I feel like they're number 1 in free throw rate over the full season. But last 5 games, they're actually shooting fewer free throws than any other team, second fewest free throws and the third fewest free throws than any other team. The Clippers, like I said, number 1 in defensive rating, 3 straight unders. They're giving up 86 points per 100 possessions last 3 games. Number 1 in opponent effective field goal percentage. Number 1 in turnover rate. Number 7 in offensive rebound rate for their opponent, and number 4 in free throw rate. So I just feel like it's a Clipper spot. They defended everything really, really well right now. They're rested. Coming off a couple losses, they're gonna take this game serious. This is outside of a conference game as well for the Pacific Division. Doing a really good job of getting back in transition. Lakers trying to get out, I know my end there. We got our Lakers team on the road that's just 8-11 against the spread. If they're a road dog, they're 6-6. Let's see. They are 19-20 on the full season, so they've been unprofitable on the road in general. The Clippers are 25-15 against the number this season. At home, they're 14-6. So that's 70%. Says that they typically win and cover. As a home favorite, 9-2. This is what always jumps out to me with the Clippers at the crib. 9-2 against the spread. 81.8% are the Clippers at home. And real quick, if we just look at it, I know that they're typically winning by double digits. As a home favorite, they are 10-1 straight up, 9-2 against the spread. They're winning by average of 18 points per game are the Clippers. And they've covered every game since November the 9th against the Raptors. They won that game by 2 and they were laying 6. But yeah, they've covered 7 straight games. Most recently against the Nets, before that against the Heat, before that against the Hawks, before that against the Warriors, before that against the Jazz, before that against the Trailblazers, before that against the Jazz. So I'm not looking towards the Lakers on the road in this spot. Real quick, let's see. So 9-2 against the spread is a home favorite. Against the conference, 18-13, and they will have Kawhi. He is set to return. Against the division, both teams are really good. The Lakers are actually 7-1 in the division this year. They beat up on the Golden State Warriors. They beat up on the Sacramento Kings like 3 or 4 times. And the Clippers 6-1 against the division as well. So both of these teams beating up on the division a lot. The Lakers are 27th in points per game last 5 games. 29th in defensive efficiency, giving up 124 points per 100 possessions. You'd hate to see that. They are 30th in pace, so they're playing super slow. The Clippers, and they played the 11th most difficult schedule over the last 5 games. The Clippers, on the other hand, like I said, number 1 in opponent points per game, number 1 in defensive efficiency. They're 18th in points scored per game. They are 19th in offensive efficiency, 2nd in efficiency differential, winning by about 15 points per 100 possessions, 19th in pace. They have played a little bit of a soft schedule, 24th in strength of schedule over the last 5 games. So yeah, I like the Clippers here, man. I want Harden to be in. I think, I don't know if Kawhi's gonna be enough. And I guess AD plays. Who knows, man? Who knows? If everybody's in, though, I do like the Clippers in this spot. I kind of feel like they're the top spot on the board. So real quick handicap. Didn't match the 2 teams up on the floor, but real quick, if we look at that, it looks like the Lakers are shooting a bunch of mid-range shots. They're 10th in mid-range frequency, 8th in accuracy, 5th in corner 3 frequency, 6th in corner 3 accuracy. So if the Lakers are making the shots, it's from the corner 3. The Clippers are number 8 in opponent mid-range accuracy, number 1 in opponent mid-range. Number 1 in opponent mid-range frequency, and number 1 in opponent mid-range accuracy. Teams are shooting 26% from the field over their last 5 games in the mid-range. And full season, they're about middle of the pack, 14th, which is a little bit better than middle of the pack. So their defense is locked in right now. So they should be able to limit the Lakers, in my opinion, being able to score. Maybe even a Laker team total to go under, especially thinking that both of these teams are going to play pretty slow. The Lakers, like I said, last 5 games, Lakers are last in pace, 30th in pace, 92.3 possessions per game. The Clippers are 19th in pace. At home on the full season, Clippers are 20th in pace as well. So looking at the Clippers, they are scoring at the rim and in the paint. It's 11th and 6th in frequency and frequency at the rim and in the paint last 5 games. Lakers giving it up too. So yeah, they should be able to score, it looks like. Clippers also pushing pace, the 3rd in transition frequency, 2nd in points scored per 100 possessions in the transition. Lakers defense hasn't been too bad, but I'm thinking the Clippers can get the job done here. So I'll be looking towards the Clippers. Just wanted to kind of live cap it, make it make sense, see if it makes sense based on what I'm thinking, see if the numbers back it up. Let's see. Clippers so free. OMG, Mosey says. Clippers spot so easy. Jacob, I hate to see all this easy stuff. It's never as easy as you think it is. Jacob also likes LeBron under 8.5 assists. Daniel says Lakers. Lee says hit the like if y'all rocking with Chris. Appreciate you, Lee. Kripke says Clippers is the move here as long as everyone is in. I agree with that. Portland tanking to end up 2nd overall, Robert says. Take the wrong player and have him prove a bust. Yeah, they got some bad luck over there, man. This is not a winning organization. DJ Prop says feels like somebody will rest in this Laker game. They shouldn't. The Lakers don't play tomorrow. The Clippers do play tomorrow though. Lakers don't play again until they play on Wednesday, and they don't even have to travel. They have to travel from the Tua Dome back to Crypto, but they got the Wizards coming to town on Tuesday. Clippers all day. Lakers money line. Come on, man. This Bron and AD playing. Yeah, we don't agree on that. We don't agree on that. Clint joined as a member. Appreciate you, Clint. I appreciate that, bro. Lakers automatic phase, Zulu says. Is the Lakers Clip new facility? Bomber gonna make those guys play. Yeah, I kind of thought about Clippers early in this spot as well. If everybody is in teams for the first time playing in that Tua Dome, they really can struggle. So I thought about that, but we'll see who is actually rolled in and rolled out. This game doesn't start until 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so about 11 hours before it tips off. We'll see. Lakers make a move and they get worse. Well said, Chris. Chris likes the Clippers minus the 4. Lakers team total under for winter life. Clips alt line minus 10. Zulu going crazy against my Lakers, man. Professor says Lakers are trash. LeBron over his turnovers for Zulu. Brian says Clippers minus 4. Lakers not getting stops down the stretch, just not ready. GLB Best says Clippers at home after covering 8-3 against the spread, 9-2 to the under. Like it. LJ says if the books keep Austin Reeves points, rebounds, and assists over 29.5, keep taking it. He averaging that. Okay. Yeah, he had I think he had a career high 38, but I think that was because AD didn't play in that last game against the Brooklyn Nets the other day. Burns says buy low spot for the Lakers, sell high spot for the Clippers. Thinking the opposite. I don't know, man. Daniel says he agrees with that. Eric says Clippers home in Inglewood, the Lakers home for years. Disrespectful. Lakers win. So we got some difference in the opinions here. I do like under, like Mark says. I do like Lakers team total under as well. Lakers own the Clippers, Dirty Jerry says. That's not true. The Lakers won 3 of the last 4 last season. Before that, the Clippers had owned us. Man, what? The Clippers owned us. When Paul George was on this team, bro, they owned us. The Clippers beat us. Let me see. I'm looking at it right now. They beat us 6 straight times, covered all 6 spreads. And it was more than that. I remember when the Clippers had beat us like 12 times in a row. So we definitely don't own them, Dirty Jerry's. I wish we owned them. Kirby says, Clippers own the Lakers, you mean? Yeah, and that's what it really is. Taylor says he says keep playing it. LeBron under points when playing teams in the bottom half with pace. Versus the 15 slow-paced team. He's under in 13 of his 16 games, averaging just 19.9. Over in 11 of his 19 games, averaging 25.5 versus fast-paced team. I'm writing this down, Taylor. You've been keep cashing with this, and I keep not Taylor, man. LBJ, under points. I like that look a lot. More like Sweat says, like Chris said, if you think the Clippers win, you lay the points at the crib, and that's a fact. That is a fact. What else y'all seeing? Jay Aries says gray beard game. You know what to do, Chris. GLB Best says Lakers 6-0 to the under on the road after beating a crappy team, 2-4 against the spread. Like it. Julio says 121 to 105. He thinks the Lakers get smoked today. And they give up a ton of points. AR over 6.5 assists for Daniel. I like Clippers and good morning. What are your thoughts on Rams Eagles? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Eagles are under for Julio. Lakers been just going through the emotions just like the Celtics, it seems. Give me the clips, JFX says. Rams upset. Let's see. What else y'all saying? Lakers are trash. Let's see. Clippers own them. Yeah, they do own them. And yeah, I like this as well. I agree with you. I can always tell who's sharp and who just woke up and still laying in the bed, ain't brushed their teeth yet, just sending out comments. GLB Best. And you can tell Taylor always do his work because early in the morning, he got analysis for it, not just that the team sucks or, whatever the case might be. So, yeah, shout out to Taylor, man. I can pick out in the comments who who's sharp and who's not. Last game on the board, we got the Washington Wizards and the Sacramento Kings. This line open, I got 16.5 in my notes. It's up to 17.5 now. Total 235. And it is still about 235, 234.5. Spread did move to 17. There's some 17.5s out there as well. Injury report. The Wizards, of course, played in Golden State last night, so they could submit late. They were without Brogdon, Bagley, and Sadiq Bey. Not expecting any of those guys to come back, but maybe Brogdon. We'll see. On the Sacramento Kings side, Keon Ellis is listed as questionable, and Devin Carter is unlikely to play in this spot. So Sacramento should be at full strength. The Keon Ellis thing, I think, is pretty big because he's been pretty good for them in his minutes recently. You got a Wizards team that's trash. They won in 10 in their last 11 games. They did cover though against last night. They actually had the lead at halftime against Golden State. Draymond left that game, didn't return. The Warriors got a frustrated Celtics team tomorrow, and that spread is at 5. I'm probably gonna go ahead and jump on Boston. Draymond probably is not gonna play. I'm just looking ahead to tomorrow, and I see that line is already available. It looks like it's available. I'll check all the eye screen, but it looks like Boston is opened up as -5-point favorites tomorrow against Golden State. So yeah, they're gonna have their work cut out tomorrow. Will the Golden State Warriors? But talking about this game, last night. So last night the Wizards, like I said, had the lead at halftime. They just kind of ran out of gas, which is what you expect from them. They were outscored in the third quarter by 9, which I should have bet the Warriors third quarter, and then they lost the fourth quarter by 6. So they still end up covering. They were getting 14. They lost the game by 8. They did go up and over 231. They finished with 236 points. I actually was leaning towards the under, but I thought Golden State would play a little bit more defense. Pretty inconsistent team. So on the Sacramento Kings side of things, I mean, it's clearly a Sacramento spot. This is a super big number. I'm not laying it. They are coming off 2 days rest. Second game back home after the East Coast road trip. They beat Houston by 5, laying 4.5 the other day. And they play, who do they play? I forgot who they play. They play, let me double check it. They play Golden State. So they do got Golden State on Wednesday. That is the divisional matchup, another Pacific divisional matchup. As much as I like what the Kings have been doing lately, 17 is crazy. 17 is absolutely crazy. Again, the book's going to set these lines high. So if you think the Kings, win this game by 25, then that's what you when you say 17.5, you don't want them to win by 18, so you're sweating. You want them to win by 20, 25 points. If we match these two teams up on the floor, which I did not do, real quick, I'll do it. So first, let's just see if, which I'm pretty sure they will be able to. Let's see if the Sacramento should be able to score, because I got Sacramento team total over 124.5 on my short list as well. Because if they're gonna win the game, I don't think it's gonna be because of their defense. I think they're gonna be able to score. So on the full season, this is a top 10 offensive team in Sacramento. The Wizards are the worst defensive team in the NBA. Sacramento last 5 games, 11th in offensive efficiency. The Wizards are the second worst defense. Sacramento doesn't turn the ball over. They're first in turnover rate. Don't get to the free throw line. And they're 17th in offensive rebound rate. They are playing super fast. Both of these teams playing pretty fast. Last 3 games for the Sacramento Kings, 4th in pace. Wizards 10th in pace. Sacramento is scoring. They're taking a lot of long mid-range shots, which the Wizards are second worst at defending. Number 1 in long mid-range frequency, about 18% of their shots. That's Monk. That's DeMar DeRozan getting to that pull-up. Keegan Murray, Sabonis. And then they're also just 7th in mid-range frequency in general. They're also shooting a bunch of threes. They're 7th and above the break 3 frequency, 5th and above the break 3 accuracy. So they should be able to score. 11th overall in both 3-point frequency and accuracy over the last 5 games. They were getting out and pushing pace, but I see 17th in transition frequency, 30th in points scored per 100 possessions in transition. But I think that corrects itself today. The Wizards are not a great transition defense. 25th in the last 5 games on the second leg of a back-to-back, second game on the West Coast. I think Sacramento can kind of name their number here. If we're looking at the Wizards offensively versus the Sacramento Kings defense, let's see what we got. So we got Washington, we got Sacramento. Last 5 games, Wizards third worst offense, 5th worst effective field goal percentage shooting team, getting the second fewest offensive rebounds. Kings don't allow offensive rebounds. The Wizards are scoring from, or I wouldn't even say scoring, I would say shooting. They're shooting a bunch of threes. They're actually number 1 in above the break 3 frequency. I see Jordan Poole had a big game last night, returning back to the Bay. So number 1 in 3-point frequency, they're shooting 37% of their shots from above the break 3. Third in overall 3-point accuracy, the Kings are 22nd in above the break 3 frequency for their opponent. Above the break 3 accuracy for their opponent. Teams are shooting about 41%, and they're 17th overall in 3-point accuracy. So I think this game goes up and over the total. I know it's a pretty high total, but seems like an over spot for me. Or at least the Kings team total over. Wizards are number 1 in transition frequency last 5 games. Sacramento does a really good job of limiting teams. They're 5th in opponent transition frequency, 9th in opponent points scored per 100 possessions via transition. Wizards are the 4th worst offense in the half court. Sacramento, 6th worst defense in the half court last 5 games. And then if we look at trends, I know the Kings ain't been laying this many points. I know that the Kings were also one of the worst teams in the NBA as far as home games in general. Yeah, Sacramento is only 7-13 against the spread at home. That's only 35%. That's too big of a number for me to lay. But I can see them winning this game by about 20, 25 points. Based on what we're talking about, as a home favorite, only 7-10. With the rest advantage, they're 5-6 against the spread. In non-conference games, only 10-16. I'm sorry, in non-conference games, 5-6 against the spread. When they're coming off a win, they're 8-10. And overall, they are over team, 21-18-2 to the over at home, 12-9 to the over. The Wizards, 6-34 straight up, only 16-22 against the spread. On the road, they are road dogs, 6-9 against the number. With the rest disadvantage, 5-3. So they have been a little bit more profitable, unrested this season. I'm sorry, that's just with the rest disadvantage. Unrested, they're only 2-4 against the spread. So they have been unprofitable even on the second leg of back-to-backs. Non-conference games, 5-10 against the number. So one more thing I want to look at real quick, and then we'll get over to NFL. Let's see. Washington. So let's see. So Sacramento last 5 games has played the 6th strongest schedule, the 11th in pace, 5th in scoring, 11th in offensive efficiency, 11th in defensive efficiency. Their efficiency number is only a +3 in the last 5 games. However, the Washington Wizards have played against the 12th most difficult schedule. They're still 3rd in pace over the last 5 games. They're the worst in efficiency differential. They're -20. They're scoring, last 5 games, they're scoring 107 points. They're giving up 127. So that Sacramento team total is something that I'm going to have to play. I'm going to have to play that. Yeah, I'm going to have to play that after looking at these numbers. On the road in general, the Washington Wizards are averaging 107 points and giving up 123. Yeah, I'm going to have to play the team total. So I'm probably going to add it. I want to look a little bit deeper, but yeah, I'm probably going to add the team total to go over for the Sacramento Kings. Let's see what you guys think about this one, and we'll jump into NFL. Let's see what y'all thinking here. Joey Best says he laid it with Sacramento. I might just lay it with Sacramento too, man. Stay away from the team totals. What if they win this game like 119 to 94, and then I mess around and they don't get to the team total? I might just lay the points here as well. We'll see. King says he likes the over. Sacramento been pushing the rock. Oh yeah, I'm bringing this back, Sandra. I'm bringing this back. It's just a lot of updating that has to happen. I produce the show, I make the show, I create the plays, I cap the games. I need a team actually, but yeah, you don't have to be quiet. I don't take this as a shot either. I'm very transparent, always have been. If you've been following me for a while, you know that over the years, but you might be new here. Aiden says, where's the link to the Discord? You just email me at ChrisBeCappinn 2 P's 2 N's at gmail.com and I'll send it to you. Kings all day and over, Michael says. Kings gonna clap him, Blaze says. Manny says, yo, top of the morning. I was thinking Jordan Poole over his points today. What you think? If you think he can put it together back-to-back games, sure. I would need to look a little bit more into matchup though, specifically. Mitchell says 17 is disrespectful. That's crazy. Like I said, they're not gonna give you a discount if you want the Kings today. GLB Best says double-digit home favorites facing a non-conference opponent who they lost to in the last matchup because the Kings did lose this game in DC. I did see that. 8-1 against the spread. All have been fat spreads, and the teams are covering and then some. But I know 17 is a huge number. Right there with you. Not looking towards the Wizards today, man. Not looking towards the Wizards. Kings. I'm seeing Kings money line. I'm not even putting that up on the screen. Brian says Wizards plus 11.5 in the first half is a lot of points. That is a lot of points. It's a whole lot of points. It feels like letdown comes in the first half. Houston didn't cover last night in the first half, and still end up covering the full game. So it's the third quarters for the home team, especially the big home teams. Taylor says he likes Poole to hit 4 and 5 threes. Kings 27th against above the break three. Poole scoring 57% of his points from here. Versus teams ranked 18th for worst. Versus the above the break three, he's over in 8 of his 12 games, averaging 4.3. He's hit 5+ in 6 of his 12 games. In 6 of those 12 games. Couldn't talk you off of that. Monk should be in. I didn't see him on the injury report. Did not see him on the injury report. Kings first half and full game for Vaughn. Poole over his turnovers. Could see that. This should be the play right here, Jacob. Not sure what he's even listed at, but Sabonis should dominate the paint. The Wizards are one of the worst rebounding teams in the NBA as well. So yeah, he should dominate in this spot. Yesterday it was Trace Jackson Davis who had a really big game on the boards. I can't remember what he finished with, but yeah, that's the way I'd be looking as well. Let's see. Yeah, I can't put that on the screen. With the Kings money line probably minus 5,000. I'm not messing with that, man. Dirty Rig says Kings won 6 games with 17 points or more in differential. Okay. Beat the Celtics by 17. Who beat the Celtics by 17? Not the Kings. Taylor says Sabonis unplayable at 16.5 boards. So he thinks with the double-digit spread, it could be a potential spot where he's not even needed in the second half. And we've seen that as well. All right, let's go over to NFL for today. We got just 2 games. We got the Rams and the Eagles. So now y'all can drop your NFL plays. And we got the Ravens and the Bills. So first thing we will do, I got one play that I made. And I'm probably not gonna play anything else. Let's go back to Outlier real quick. I like to use that as a tool that I use to just kind of give you guys a visualization. We got let's go NFL. I'm targeting a quarterback, Mr. Jalen Hurts. So this line for Jalen Hurts is, and let me get my notes up real quick. This is so Jalen Hurts. This is what I like today for Jalen Hurts is his pass. I actually like both his completions and his attempts. The one I like the most though is probably his pass attempts under. So the number is 25.5. It is you can get a plus 105 right now. So this one has actually moved against me a little bit. I think when I played it was minus 115. So this is Jalen Hurts' last 10 games. You can see that he's under his pass attempts in 8 of the games, right? So 20% that he's gone under, 80% he's gone under, only 20% he's gone over. Came against the Commanders and came against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Hurts is, so the way I kind of think about this game is the Rams are a bottom 10 rush defense. So why wouldn't you just turn around, hand the ball off to Saquon? We've seen the Eagles do that a lot. And that's contributed to Jalen Hurts not having to pass the football here. Last week in Green Bay, he passed the ball 21 times. Green Bay is a top 5 defensive team against the rush. So now you get, the opposite. Now you get a rush defense for the Rams that's not that great, and you get Jalen Hurts, handing the ball off to Saquon. My guy Munoz is on Saquon up and over his rush attempts at 20.5. I think that's the way that this game's going to be played. You look at the full season for Jalen Hurts. This is something we started cashing on. This is when the Eagles were actually pretty, I wouldn't say poor, but this is when they were struggling at the beginning of the season. They were relying on, this is the way I look at this graph, they were relying on Hurts to be the playmaker for the team a lot. You can see that the pass attempts were up. Since then, he's only gone up and over in two of the games since the first 4 of the season. So just something to kind of think about. I think at home, the numbers actually get a little bit better. So you can see here, it's about 4 of 8. But yeah, I think it's going to be a big Saquon day, a big Saquon day. I think they're going to try to keep the Rams offense off the field by turning around, handing the ball off to Saquon and letting him do the work. Jalen Hurts will pass the football, of course, but I just don't think it's going to be a ton today. So I like Jalen Hurts under his 25.5 pass attempts. Also, like looking at his pass completions, I mean, they're correlated, right? At the beginning of the season, he was completing more passes. Then, boom, now we don't get to 17 as frequently. So Jalen Hurts under his pass completions, I think, is a pretty good look as well. But I specifically played the attempts in this one. I think I like it just a tad bit more. A number, like I said, is cashing about 72%, 62% of the time so far this season. I like Jalen Hurts a lot in this spot to go under on his pass attempts. So that's my player prop of the day for today. That's what I'm gonna ride with. It's a lot of supporting factors underneath here. Again, this is Outlier for people who want to check it out. You can see some stuff here. Jalen Hurts has failed. The insight says Jalen Hurts has failed to exceed 25.5 pass attempts in 10 of his 12 games. Only averaging 21 or right under 21, 20.8. So you can see that there. And that's what I'm liking for today. Let's go through the comments real quick and see what you guys are thinking about the NFL for today. All right, we got Dallas Goedert and Isaiah Likely. Anytime touchdown sprinkles for GLB bets. Eagles and Buffs game going under. AJ Brown over 74.5 yards. Justin put it in his pocket. He likes that at plus 120. Brian says he likes the Rams plus 6. Got to go with the home team even in the snow. Eagles game under 22.5 first half. AJ Brown anytime touchdown. Justin liked AJ Brown a lot today. Vaughn says he likes the Hurts under. His attempts already locked it in. You worried about the snow in Philly? I think that's even more of a reason to like the under. Then you really hand it off. Barkley over 19.5 rush attempts. I bet it earlier in the total for his longest rush as well, including overtime versus Derrick Henry over 19.5, Philly and Ravens, Tasha says. So this correlates with what I like. Eagles -6, Rams on the money line for PZ. Stafford to throw a pick for Mark. Let's see. If the Rams get ahead, he gonna be throwing, Daniel says. If the Rams get ahead. You don't believe in the Eagles defense? The Eagles got one of the better defenses in the league. What did they held? They held I know their defense has been really, really good. I don't think that the Rams gonna get ahead. And even if they do, we'll see how much he passes the football. But that is I guess it would be, kind of the opposite of what I'm thinking, how the game script goes. Manny says over on Saquon attempts and Hurts under as well. Like it. Dirty Ray says Stafford 1-8 in cold weather games. Give me the Eagles. Justin says give him the Eagles double result. So think they have the lead at halftime and full time -139. Put it in his pocket. Stayed away from the spread. Tariq says Chris is under 25.5 attempts. Is -132 on FanDuel. You mentioned at plus money. Can you tell me where? Yeah, I can tell you where. Give me a second. Let's see. That's what it's out there somewhere. But yeah, I can tell you where. This is why you guys get odds jam, so you don't gotta figure it out. I think if you look on Outlier, they'll tell you as well though. So let me see if I can get this to load real quick. While I do that, I'll get back to that while that screen loads to read. Hurts over is rushing 50 and plus 160 for Peter. Brian says, so everybody is on Philly, huh? Jalen Hurts to throw a pick, Taylor says. When pressured, he has a 5.3 turnover worthy play rate that ranks 29th worse. Rams 13th in pressure rate. Okay, so thinking that he's gonna throw a pick today, I'm hoping he just hand the ball off. Dirty Rig says Hurt to throw a touchdown today. Let's see. Player pass completions. Player pass attempts. Player pass attempts. Okay. Pass attempt line is fishy high. I think it's about right where it has been, Daniel. So 25 and a half pass attempts for Jalen Hurts. Or yeah, I don't see the 25. I don't see the plus money either. That's what Outlier said. I see 25 and a half best number right now for Jalen Hurts at minus 130. So that looks like I got a little CLV. Minus 130 on Fanatics is the best number. FanDuel got a minus 132. DraftKings got a minus 130, and then every other book has it at 24 and a half. ESPN Bet got it at 24 and a half, minus 105. Same thing with Hard Rock. Same thing with BetMGM. Taylor says Rams also 10th in zone percentage versus zone. Hurts also ranks 27th in turnover worthy play rate. Okay. Mitchell says he likes Justice Hill over his 35 and a half receiving plus rushing yards. No Zay Flowers. Stafford to throw 2 touchdowns. Rams defense has held opponents under 2 touchdowns last 4 games. Okay. AJ Brown receptions. Henry says, man, y'all get odds jam. By far the best betting software for getting value. Odds jam even have live betting lines during the games. I get crazy lines all the time. I say it all the time, but you heard it from Burns as well. What's up, Saturated? Says I actually caught Chris live. Must be time to get back to bed. Good look on Eckler yesterday. I'm glad you cashed, bro. Daniel says he used odds jam as well. And AOD says Barkley over 60 rushing yards. Connor Williams to get 50 rushing yards. Puka Nacua 40 plus receiving yards. AJ Brown plus 40 receiving yards is plus 104. So if the Stars do what they're supposed to do, they should get some money today, is what he's saying. And yep, JLB that says, yep, OddsJam Sports Screen is pricey but worth it. All of these other websites that do it for free are not as good. And I absolutely agree with that. It's a couple that's out of there for sure. All right, so quick recap. We've been on here all day. I bet the Jalen Hurts under, but I like the NFL more than I like anything else on the card for today. Under 25 and a half pass attempts, I think was minus 115. When I played it earlier this week, it's minus 125 right now. Actually moving to minus 130 on Fanatics right now, it looks like. So that's what I played. The Sacramento King team total up and over 124 and a half. They should be able to score 130 today. Didn't play anything that's on red though. I'll finalize my card as I always do throughout the day as we get updated injury news. But everything on the screen is what I kind of lean towards. The Jamal Murray points makes a ton of sense. The Bucks team total makes a ton of sense. And the Clippers actually probably my favorite play of the day. If this line moves to the 5, I still like it. As long as everybody gets ruled in for the Clippers, I do think that they're gonna beat my Lakers today. So we'll see how it goes. But I wish you guys the best of luck. The resources I've utilized all these to handicap the games from last night. Pull most of them up on the screen as well. There are referral codes for all of them in the description of the video. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Check these out. If you want access to the Discord, just shoot me an email at ChrisBeCappinn, two P's and 2 N's. As long as you got good vibes, you can stay. And link for all my official plays in the description of the video as well. Enjoy your Sunday, man. Enjoy the games, basketball and football. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.